Check 1 2, check 1 2. It's your boy Rico the Plug back live once again. Just checking the mic right now. Gotta get these headphones together. Do 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 do. All right. Go here. Go to Bluetooth. Okay. Okay, here we go. What up, folks? It's your boy Rico the Plug with the raphustle.com. I'm here today to give you some insight onto this phenomenal rapper that we call Kendrick Lamar. I've been seeing a lot of narratives being raised online about this young man. And, like I said, I'm championing him, and I've been championing him since I've learned about him. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing new. You know, this is all me. This is how I feel. But I've been seeing a lot of people online, especially a lot of older men, older statesmen in the hip hop game that's just really, I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's like Kendrick said. Y'all don't like the West Coast. I don't understand these narratives that people are coming with. I'm trying to fix this camera while I'm talking to you. Let's see, I gotta get my aesthetics right, you dig? And I just wanted to go live because I'm sick of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really sick of the grown dudes that's acting like little girls around here these days, man. You know what I'm saying? Acting like I need a back swing ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it, man. Especially the ones that's from hip hop, like ones that we looked up to back in the day who know exactly what hip hop is how to represent hip hop. But I guess the corporate dollars have changed their morals and their respects and their understanding for this game that it don't matter no more as long as there's a check involved, to the point where they will go out their way just to try to disrespect somebody like Kendrick Lamar. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Technical difficulties here. Let's see. We get my camera back right. All right. Wondering why I was looking like that. The thing was falling off the edge like a fucking widow's peak, you dig? Anyway, I'm back. And I'm probably just rambling because I'm waiting to get some people online. If you're online with me live, please let us know where you checking in from. There we go. I like that right there. Once again, it's your boy Rico the Plug with the raphustle.com. Today we talking about Kendrick Lamar. Yes, again. We talking about Kendrick Lamar. He just announced his new tour. And his first stop is right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minnesota, stand up. You know what I'm saying? Let's give ourselves a hand for that. And I was checking some of his past tours. I don't think Kendrick Lamar ever been to Minnesota, so that's going to be huge. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to be in that joint. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get some media passes so I can get behind the scenes and see what's going on with that. If you support me in that effort, man, leave a comment, man. Let TDE know, man. We need the rap hustle up in that joint, man. We need to get some background scenes and see what's really going on. Give y'all the first look on what to expect when he comes to your city. I got my co-host with me, man, my late night co-host. Man, you know what I'm saying? Say, what's up, man? He a little shy. You got to talk to his agent, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So Kendrick Lamar, come on, stand up. You good? You got to land on your feet, sir. You got to land on your feet. You want to get up here with me? So yeah, I've been hearing some foul narratives online, and I don't want to give these cats no highlight on my station no more. I see a lot of bloggers and people that go live and do this thing. They always recapping what somebody said, and you know what I'm saying. I'm cool on all that. I ain't doing this for clout. I'm really doing this because I really love real rap. And because Kendrick Lamar has brought real rap to the forefront, I feel it like we are ahead of our time with this thing. You know, like I said, for the last 10, 15 years, we didn't even, we hip hop was unrecognizable for those who really love the culture. You know, it was all about making a quick buck, making microwave music that people can bop to. You know, ain't nothing wrong with bopping. You know what I'm saying? But when we was growing up, we listened to a variety of different artists within this genre. So it was cool. But now we just get a bunch of ratchetness and drug use. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it was cool when we was listening to the drug dealers, but I'm just saying we was motivated to do something to get out of the hood. And that was the whole purpose. Our purpose was to get, hey, this is the only way we can get money. We're going to get money to get ourselves in a better position so we can make money off this rap music. And so we can leave that alone and take our families about the hood. So that's what it was all about then. And now it's all about, you know, I don't care about you. Hell, I don't care about myself to the point where I am willing to pop pills all day, every day and drink syrup and kill myself. I mean, I started noticing that young cats was having heart attacks at 20, 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that down, sir. You got to keep that down. You want to go in there with mama? Okay, well, check it out. Yeah, so Luke, I started noticing that they was having heart attacks and stuff at 20, 30 years old. And I was like, I don't remember a time when it used to be like that, but that's from the drug use and the lean and all that. And thanks to Lil Wayne and Cash Money, we have an epidemic of young men who don't care nothing about themselves and they're too sensitive to understand anything that's real. Go in there with mama. They're too sensitive to understand anything that's real when it comes to really being real men. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's cool you got money and all, but no money, you can have a lot of money and no respect. Which you can see right now, y'all don't have no respect. There's no respect in the game for the lames. I don't care how rich you get. Like Kendrick Lamar said, did you think the money and fame will make the lame go away? No, you just a lame with money. And the way you carry yourself within this culture explains to us exactly who you are. Not what we see when you shooting a video, when you manufacturing yourself to be something that you're not. Nah, that ain't what matters. What matters is how you moving behind the scenes. How do people receive you when they are out with you? You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, he's always been himself. Excuse me. The weather changed. We're going through some things up here in Minnesota. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? We're one of the coldest states. And I say that with a lot of emphasis on the coldest. You know what I'm saying? But what you back? What you want now? You want some juice, mama, or shoes? Okay. But yeah, so Kendrick Lamar has always carried himself in a way that represented himself in a good light and also represented hip hop in a good light. You know what I'm saying? And I came across an interview of his that he did back in the day, which I think would explain some of these narratives that these folks is coming, because obviously it's cool for you to have your own mindset on what you think and all, but when you're making up narratives about somebody because you don't understand them, it's also cool for you to do your research on that person, right? So what am I talking about? Seeing a couple of people saying some things that's out of line about Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? One being the OG, Lord Jamar. Shout out to Lord Jamar. If you don't know who he is, man, you know what I'm saying? He comes from a prestigious background of real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Tribe Called Quest and all that, man. Jungle Brothers, you know, do your research, man. This is a good time for the youngsters to do the research, man. and really find out where this hip hop thing came from, especially if they're in a space of not understanding and not understanding like why do everybody champion Kendrick Lamar? Well, here's a good time to do your research and find out why, and not just comment silly shit under people's posts because you don't understand. We get some understanding. That's what we here for. It's real rap with Rico the plug. So, Lord Jamar, though, man, you kind of, I get it, maybe because you don't know Kendrick. Like I said, he said some things about Kendrick Lamar being a nerd rapper, now trying to play gangbanger. And I can't find a verse where Kendrick Lamar said that he was a gangbanger. I can't find a verse or a word from nobody in the hood where they said he was a nerd. So I understand that if you don't pay it, you looking at somebody from afar, you might have your notion about that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what you call prejudging. That's where prejudice come from. So you prejudge somebody, then you say some stupid stuff like, oh, he was a nerd rapper, now he wants to be a gangbanger. When that's the furthest thing from the truth. And if you're really watching it, you could tell that by his actions, that's not what it is with him. What it is with him is bringing unity to the community that he grew up in, not indulging in gangbanging, not wanting to be rivals with his brothers and sisters, and finding an even ground for them, being a catalyst for them to come together. And see, one thing you can't do as a nerd is not going to be able to bring Bloods, Crips, and all kinds of different sets on the stage together and bring them together within the community and shoot videos and have a whole community out there and nobody shoots and nobody fights. A nerd is not going to be able to do that, Lord Jamar. And if you are from New York City and you understand the people in New York City who had the respects in the hood that when they did something, nobody disrespected that, then you should be able to look at Kendrick and be like, there's something about this guy that the gangbangers in LA, no matter what nationality they are, no matter what color they claim, no matter what set they claim, they all put all that to the side for this little guy. For this little guy, probably the shortest guy in the crowd. Everybody puts all their differences to the side and come together in unity to celebrate this guy. That don't say nerd. No nerd gets that. Not in no hoods like those. I don't know what hood you from. I'm pretty sure you from them boroughs out there, so I'm pretty sure no nerds able to do nothing like that in those boroughs that you came from, Lord Jamar. So I don't understand why you would even say that. And then to say that he's trying to be a gangbanger is like, you got to give us proof on that. See, when you run your mouth and don't have no proof about some shit, it kind of make you look stupid. But I know we're in a day and age where people just make narratives up, and whoever's dumb enough to follow that stuff, they going with it. You know what I'm saying? Then they going to start spewing it. They going to be saying, oh, well, you know, Kendrick used to be a nerd, now he trying to be a gangbanger because they heard it from one of their favorite podcasters. You know what I'm saying? Who's not really giving you facts. They're just giving you their opinion from their biased state of mind. And if you're not educated on your own or resourceful enough to go find that out, if you can look at somebody and they saying something and be like, yeah, that don't sound right, and just go do your research on it instead of just taking their word for it. See, that's always been me. I'm a researcher, man. You can't tell me anything. You're not going to be able to piss on my head and tell me that it's raining. You know, I know the difference. So that narrative coming from Lord Jamar was kind of crazy to me. On top of that, we got other people talking about how Kendrick Lamar is trying to be a savior. He act like he's trying to save people. Again, you don't listen to this guy because he has a song called I Am Not Your Savior. And not only am I not your savior, Tupac is not your savior. None of these people that you out of Drake is not your savior. Nobody can save you from you but you. So I don't know where that narrative is coming from. It's coming from hate. That's where it's coming from. Haters will bring up anything to say about you. When the hate don't work, they start lying. Y'all done heard that before. If you haven't heard that, then maybe you stuck under a rock. But when the hate don't work, they start lying. That's how you know the hate is real, though. Because when people sit up and just make up shit to say about you when they haven't even done no research on you, you know, you obviously interested in this guy. So why not do the research on him instead of just spewing what you feel like spewing and saying what you feel like saying and sounding idiot when you say it? Why not do the research? Okay, some of y'all just so biased that you ain't gonna do the research. You just gonna keep running with your narratives. But if you're over here at the Rap Hustle with real rapper Rico the Plug, we gonna learn you something, man. So today I want to present to y'all an interview that I came across with K-Dot probably about 12, 14 years ago or something. You know what I'm saying? And he's basically explaining who he is before we got to this point, so there could be no misunderstanding of who this guy is after you watch this. And if you really pay attention, and if you're really watching this with open mind and open eyes and saying, hey, you know what? I didn't know K-Dot was that dope. Now I found out he's dope, and I feel like I really want to dig into and see what really makes this guy tick. This is a perfect interview for you. So without further ado, I'm going to get to this interview. Let me switch this over here. All right, go down her. Go her. This is an interview with K-Dot from Hard Knock TV. How many years ago was this? This was 13 years ago. So that would be, 2011. 13 years ago, he did this interview. And if you're watching this now, I appreciate you. Could you share, like, comment, subscribe, do everything you can to get us in the algorithm? For some reason, I'm dropping these videos and nobody's paying attention. I don't know if it's the fact that they're not posting them or sharing them with people. But if you're seeing this, let us know that you're paying attention, that we are being shared by just liking it, if not commenting and subscribing. You know what I'm saying? Anything can help. It's free. Dislike it if you don't like to. You know what I'm saying? You can dislike it too. You don't gotta dislike the video if you don't like it. Because if you're watching the video and you don't say nothing, then it's maybe obviously you don't like it. So dislike the video if you can. Like the video if you like it. Share, subscribe, comment. Most importantly, sign up for the raphustle.com. But let's get into this interview. It's about 10 minutes long, 11 minutes long. It was 13 years ago, Hard Knock TV. K-Dot in his prime, in his beginning, circulating and getting around. Here we go. Hard Knock TV. Shout out to them. Check it out.
First started rhyming when I was 13. And when I said I want to sit down and I want to perfect my craft, I really went after studying all the greats. Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas. You know what I mean? Just to better my lyrical skills, because I felt they was the best, you know what I mean, in my time period. All over the world, I'm sure everybody else feel like it. So it was just me basically developing myself. I mean, when people heard K-Dot, they was like, yo, the kid is dope. He can rap, but who is he? You know what I mean? That went on for years. You're just another cat in the streets that can rap good, right? So I was like, you know what? I want people to know who I am as a person and what I represent. So I woke up one morning, I said, the best way to start it off is giving me my name change, my real name. Something my mother been calling me for years. And this is who I am, and I'm gonna start putting that on records, you know what I mean? And the shit transcended where I'm putting it on records and it's representing me and people accept it, you know what I mean? Because they can relate.
So let me put a pause on that so I could break it down for the people in the back who might not understand what the man just said. The man said when he was in the streets doing his music thing, people was like K-Dot, they knew him as K-Dot, they knew he was dope. But by him studying Tupac and Biggie and Nas and Jay-Z and all the greats, he said, you know what? I want to be like the greats, but I want to be known for being myself. So he changed his name from K-Dot to his real name that his mother gave him, which is Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. But off with the Duckworth, Kendrick Lamar. There you got. So if that's not honorable for you, to understand where this man's coming from. The man said, I want to give you me. 100% me. Nothing fake. It's all me. I admire that about him. Let's keep it moving.
And that was just the mind state. I felt like, what is an artist? You know what I mean? If you don't know who they are, the biggest people you felt like you can relate to their story, like the Tupac, Biggie, you know what I mean, Nas, Jake, you know what I mean? So I just basically want to pattern myself after that and step up to the next level and mature, you know?
Step up to the next level and mature. Take it further. I want to take it further. And I want the world to know who did it. Me, Kendrick Lamar. Not K. Dot, Kendrick Lamar. The name that his mama gave him. Honorable. Let's keep it moving.
Living my life like I'm living right in the midst of a fire pit. The game banging and violence is the sweetest song, and I roam with the heart of a violin. Don't violate my patience, I'm waiting to kill a man as I stare at the ceiling fan. As a fan of these wicked streets, if I gotta eat, I steal like a metal piece. I'm screaming out fuck the police. I'm dealing my cards with jokers on them. You can disown them or stone them. I'm throwing them rock back with a fury of bullets. You couldn't live your life for the moment. When I'm foaming at the mouth and my sharpest the teeth showing.
I think it was one of your freestyles. You talk about being a good kid growing up in a mad city.
Yeah, good kid in the mad city. That's something that I represent.
Hey, before we go into that, man, come on, man. Do you hear the bars? That's what real rap is about, them bars, man. Anybody can formulate words and say some words that rhyme, man, and make it sound good when they singing it. But when you put them bars up, that make people be like, oh my God. The man said you could throw them stones his way, but he's throwing them motherfuckers back with the fury of bullets. Pay attention, man. Learn something, man. Let's go.
That's something I represent for the whole city of Compton. I feel that we all good kids in a mad city. You know what I mean? It's just the circumstance that's around us turns us into the evils that the world, puts upon the adolescents that's growing up in the city, whether it's gang violence, of course, whether it's police brutality, whether it's drugs, whether it's women. You know what I mean? It all stems from being a kid, and it's just the shit you exposed to. You know what I mean? I was exposed to it too, but I was fortunate enough to have a active pops in my life. You know what I mean? To show me the stepping stones and show me what's right and wrong. You know what I mean? Most of the friends I grew up with didn't have no pops. You know what I mean? If they did, they weren't active. You know, so.
For all the men in the back, I want y'all to pay attention to what that man just said, man. He had an active father in his life, man. This is why we lost right now. This is why we don't recognize our little brother hip-hop, man, because we weren't active in these niggas' lives, man. Fortunate for me, I had some people that was there to teach my sons better and keep them on a straight path. I'm not saying they're the best kids in the world, but within my absence, they didn't pick up none of this degenerateness that we see around here, man. And I appreciate that. But I had to learn because I didn't have a father in my life either. So me being a father, but not knowing how to be a father, but wanting to do what I do with this music and things, led me down a path to be like, man, look, I'm trying to do something else with myself. Definitely was about doing something else, but where do I go? How do I do it? I don't have nobody around here to teach me how to do this. So I had to go on my journey and learn this. I ain't learned this stuff for myself because I know if my kids were anything like me, they're going to want the same thing. So somebody got to get out here and build it. That's what I did, and unfortunately, it took me away from my kids to not be around them a lot. Of course, they can call me on the phone and all that, but it's something different when you're there every day, and I'm learning that. I'm learning that now with my last son, 2 years old, the one you just seen. I'm learning that now. It's something different when you're there every day. My two youngest in Atlanta, I was there every day up until I left 2 years ago, but I'm still here. They get to call me, but they at least got a time to really see where they came from and who they are. And my oldest son down there is in college, you know what I'm saying, working. You know what I'm saying? He ain't out here playing these degenerate ass games, man, and not caring about his life. So I want everybody, every male, colored male. I don't like to use the word black, man. I just don't like it because for me, I just feel like they just gave us that term because when you black something out, it don't exist, man. And I don't really like, first of all, we all know the colors of crayons, and none of us look black like that. So I don't like using that term, but for all my brothers, whether you white, black, Mexican, Asian, I don't care. But most importantly, for my brothers, for the people who look like me, it's way too important for us to be there for these men, these young men, bro. For real, man. And thank God that we have somebody like Kendrick Lamar that can now be an example. Even for the ones who didn't have nobody there, I'm guaranteed he done sparked some minds around here that's like, wait a minute. I've been listening to this when I should have been listening to this. This is more on my frequency. I just didn't have nowhere to find it because I was lost over here. But since he defeated this and knocked this out the way to where, wait a minute, so Kendrick do this like this? I didn't know that. I thought he was trying to free the slaves. And I didn't want to be free as a slave. I didn't want to use my mind. I heard academics on his screen talking about the difference between Drake's fan base and Kendrick's fan base, and he was saying Kendrick's fan base wants to hear these metaphors and all that, and that's not what hip hop wants. Hip hop wants to hear the ratchet stuff, and you know what I'm saying? The dudes killing each other and spinning the block on each other, and you know what I'm saying? And people don't understand how they look when they open their mouth, man. Like, okay, yeah, you can say all this stuff, and you saying this because, you know, people going to keep coming back seeing what you got to say, and your numbers going to keep going up, so you don't care what you say. Which means you don't care how you look. You don't care what your legacy looks like when you leave, as long as you got money, and that's cool. Do you? But if you a person of integrity, if you a person who stand on something, man, then you can watch academics and you can see that what not to be, because you can learn a lot from a dummy. And a dummy can get paid for it. But see, when you talk yourself into a hole where you can't even enjoy your money because everywhere you go, you got to pay for security and stuff like that, or you got to duck your head and get in and out fast enough before somebody see you that you might have offended. That ain't no way to live. But unfortunately, we have a culture within hip-hop that believes that the ratchetness and being drug addicts and just being just stupid towards yourself, being disrespectful towards yourself is the way to go. And now we have Kendrick Lamar as a light to shine for the youngsters who probably didn't know any better because they didn't have no dad. And I'm just going to say this for those who didn't have no dad or no one older than them to, you know what I'm saying, kind of mentor them or teach them. Man, get you somebody older than you and get up under them, man. Quit acting like these old dudes are just old and they don't know what the hell they talk about, bro. Because one thing you want to do is get older, man. I mean, if you really striving to die, man, and all I can say is, man, good luck to you, man. But if you really want to stay alive and become something with your world, then, man, get you a mentor. If you don't have a father or uncle or somebody who Find somebody who's doing something that you would really like to do besides running around here flexing and acting like you really like that stuff, and get up under them, man, and learn from them, man, and don't take their words for granted, man. You know what I'm saying? It's only gonna help you in the long run. I'm telling you, man. Like as young men in the urban jungles, out here left to fend for ourselves. A lot of times people tell us stuff and we act like we don't hear them, but you know what I'm saying? When the same thing comes back to bite us, then we be like, man, such and such told me that, man. So, I mean, it'll behoove you to, take heed to a lot of things and learn from other people's mistakes, man. And this is another reason why Kendrick Lamar is a great role model for hip hop is because what he just said, man. He had a father, man. Yeah, he was in Compton around the gangbangers and the drug dealers and the prostitutes and the crackheads and all that, and he functioned around them. He was able to be around them and still be himself, Kendrick Lamar. But let's keep it moving.
I was real fortunate. I mean, he went through all that shit before. And out of respect, I transcended my lifestyle and patterned it after his. Not after his, but, you know what I mean, guiding the right way he wanted me to do, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I got into my ignorant shit, everybody did. But at the end of the day, I stayed in progress of what was right, you know what I mean?
We used to beefing over turf, fuck beefing over verse. Niggas dying, motherfucker, double entendre. And this is Compton.
Now, I'm going to pause it because I don't know. I don't want it to, I ain't been getting no views and stuff, man. So I don't want it to mess up my views. I think I'm on to something over here on this channel. And sooner or later, y'all going to catch on. And I don't want to, violate in the way where I'm still. Because, man, I ain't had a new follower in about 2 weeks, man. So if you watching this now, please sub. Let me see that I'm not, shadow banned around here, man. Because I do speak how I speak, and I'm learning from that. But I also
Feel that
I want to build this platform and get people over to the site so that we could help those independent artists like Kendrick Lamar or, just people who got great music and great skills, help build a platform where they could, we could even the playing field, man. You know what I'm saying? BET or MTV might not want to interview you, but if we can interview you over here at the raphustle.com and send you through a gauntlet of independent media platforms that's here for you, independent artists, and get your name out there to where now BET and MTV and all those other places are knocking on your door because they seen you from our efforts. That's what we here for, man. So if you are an artist, model, entrepreneur, or a content creator, just somebody who loves hip hop, sign up for the hip hop fraternity. I mean, the hip hop fraternity. That too. Sign up for the hiphopfraternity.com for sure, because I am a founding member of the hip hop fraternity. But sign up for the raphustle.com, create you a hustler's profile page, and let's hustle together. But let's get back to this interview, man. I'm gonna have to go back soon.
I mean, it's dope that we started the gangster rap, but I feel that
often people try to put you in a box.
Yeah, they do, because Compton has it's dope.
Game, you can't be easy. You feel that because you're from Compton, people try to put you in a box.
Yeah, they do, because Compton has it's dope that we started the gangster rap, but I feel that it's way more versatility out here than what people have heard over the years. You know what I mean? I don't want people to put me in a box. It's just gangster rap. It's just a hardcore boom boom. I got that in me. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm from the city, born and raised. It's what I've been.
I got that in me. Of course, I'm from the city, born and raised, fam. Lord Jamar, the nerd. That's what the nerd said 13 years ago, fam. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Around, you know what I mean? What I've been hearing for years, but it's a next level I think we can go to and people can start seeing. I think I can do that, you know?
I mean, I think for me, well, Nick also, I grew up in the days of like when Compton was NWA,
yeah.
Dre back in his heyday.
Yeah, exactly.
That generation of hip hop and that kind of music coming from that city.
Exactly.
Describe what Compton's like now. You mentioned earlier it's kind of like a little bit of a rebel mentality. Is it? Give us a picture of what Compton is now if you were a youth or a teenager or like a young adult growing up, how it maybe differs from that generation and that time?
I would say Compton now is, as far as the gang culture, is way more of a how can I say this? I wouldn't say trend. I would say something that's in you to do, to be a part of a gang. Super heavy. I mean, I think it's worse because back then, you be in a mind state of a 16-year-old and you get into the mentality of being from your hood or your block, right? 16. But now, I got little cousins that's 9 years old that's ragging or flagging. You dig what I'm saying? Where it's really fucking it up even more because ain't nobody schooling the youth no more. You know what I mean? Because all the older cousins, they locked up now.
If you ain't paying attention to this and understanding where this man's mind state is at then, and then understand where we at now, because see, in order to know where you're going, you got to know where you came from, man. And I'm telling you which way hip-hop is going, man. And if you an artist out here and you believe that you can still make that bubblegum music and make it, good luck to you, fam. They ain't even signing y'all no more. We at a time now where we got to bring this thing and put it right back in our hand and find our own way to make money of it. And if that's what you want to do, get signed to them, then they got to have a reason to respect you, man. And these folks just sat here and watched this guy here spank they golden boy. Spanking. Like, yeah, and then see what that does for their marketing. The Drake is, for years he was popped up as #1, but then you got Kendrick that just came and showed him he ain't like us. So basically he showed them execs like they don't know what's going on over here, man. They brainwash your ignorant folks. You don't got to brainwash your ignorant folks to do some ignorant stuff. He gonna do that anyway. And that's why these folks is getting signed, man. You got Sexy Red out here with a line of lip gloss, man, with crazy names, bro. And she trying to sell it to our teenage girls, man. Because who wears lip gloss? Teenage girls. Then you got Drake out here talking about he got a tour starting Super Bowl Sunday, man. And it's called I Need a Max Win, whatever the hell. And it's the image of a little girl, which is supposed to be his alter ego. 40-year-old man with an alter ego, that's a little girl. Just to sell these youth down the pipeline of gambling, because that's what it, that's where he came up with the name Anita Max Win. He got a lot of business dealings with gambling, casino, online, and all that. Yeah, so we already know what his thing is. Who are you pushing that towards, though, man? You definitely ain't looking for no grown men to come to no tour with a little girl as a representative of the tour, bro. Like, and if you know any grown men who willing to go to that, man, you know what I'm saying, they might want to check they, genitals and see really what they identify with. A little girl, Anita Max Win. You definitely need a max win, man, and you definitely need a maximum security prison, if you ask me, man, because you might not be a pedophile, but you're definitely a groomer, and that's without rumor. So anyway, let's get back to the interview.
Of course, the pops is gone, but now the cousins is gone. You know what I mean? At a young, tender age, so it's really getting to a real sad point. You know what I mean? But we still have our fun moments where we have our youth centers and all that, which is some positive shit to help the city, but it needs to be more, and that's the type of shit that people don't understand. This is bigger than music for me. You know what I mean? I done seen the city. I done had uncles pass and cousins pass in the city. You know what I mean? I'm trying to take it to the next level where motherfuckers can at least embrace each other and not sweat over the motherfucking colors, because at the end of the day, we just fucking up ourselves anyway.
13 years ago, fam. The nerd had the vision. This was 13 years ago, so I'm sure the vision came way before this interview. But we can document 13 years ago this man saying that his vision is to make this thing better and bring it back to the point where we embrace each other and not trip over colors. And then we just see this dude do a pop-up concert in Los Angeles and have every set come together on stage, no problem. Ken, we there. Just shoot the video. Everybody's there, man. And now he's galvanizing the world to where people, this tour that he's about to go on, man, this is the pop-up for those cities. Him and SZA. See, people like to pit Kendrick Lamar and Drake up against each other, but it's really not a fair thing because, first of all, Kendrick is a 100% rapper, my nigga. Drake is a pop artist, right? So, okay, with a pop artist, you're going to get little teeny bopper girls who don't understand life that likes the cute dude that can sing. That just is what it is. But I tell you one person who Drake won't go up against in his pop life, SZA. He'll big up Taylor Swift, but he's scared to say SZA's name. SZA's a bigger pop star than Drake. Kendrick's a bigger rapper than Drake. You put them two together on a tour, boy, they about to have the biggest tour. And Drake know that. Them folks are sweating right now, man. I seen Birdman posted something talking about it's real disrespectful that they going to Toronto. Like, bro, how is that disrespectful? It's business. What are you talking about? Is somebody gonna be able to stop you from going where you want to go to get your money, Birdman? I ask you. And you gonna go to anybody who got a problem with you, you gonna go to their city. You don't care, right? So how is it disrespectful if the next person take that same approach, bro? It's over with, man. That Cash Money wave is cool. You still getting your money, Birdman. See, you set yourself up as an executive. You are just like Lucien Grange when it comes to this music thing, man. You have your own little entity of artists that still pay you forever and ever and ever and ever. No matter if they down the drain or whatever's going on with them, you still gonna get paid off of those masters that you own. So you Gucci. I don't understand why you just keep, you know what I'm saying, like, acting like people are disrespecting y'all. Like, bro, you too old for that, bro. I don't got as much money as you got, but I obviously got more sense than you because you should have sense enough to know that you too old for that, man. I don't know, maybe you just say that because you sticking it out there because, you know what I'm saying, you know, if you say something, it's going to go viral and then, you know, people going to hear it and you got your, you know what I'm saying, people clicking on the link to the NBA songs and all that. I know marketing when I see it, but I just don't understand, like, almost 60-year-old man, bro, like, I don't like Drake, but I wouldn't find it disrespectful if he came to Minnesota to do a show. I just won't go to the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's just total disrespect, him having a show in Toronto. What? If we can recall, he had a show in Toronto when Drake made his way to come pick him up to tell him about the industry. If I'm not mistaken, ain't that the interlude on Drake's first solo album with Kendrick Lamar on it? And then I died. And that for me was very telling too, because I hadn't, you know, I don't pay attention to Drake like that. I like some of his songs I hear on the radio. If I hear it on the radio, I might sing along to it, but I have never pressed play on Drake since he signed the Cash Money. But I think a lot of y'all are missing, and I'm gonna tell you just my theory on why this beef was brewing over the years, right? My belief is that, okay, on that interlude to Drake's album, Drake's first solo album, the first song, the first voice you hear is Kendrick Lamar. Now, I had no idea that it was just Kendrick Lamar by himself until I heard it after the beef. And it sprung a thought in my mind that said, I believe Drake has always wanted to be a rapper like Kendrick Lamar and knew that he wasn't a rapper like Kendrick Lamar. And even having him on that tour, he understood that he was not even able to do what Kendrick Lamar does when it comes to rapping. So when Kendrick Lamar did that Control verse, he took it very personal because he knew that he couldn't hang with Kendrick Lamar on rapping. So him being in the position that he was in at that time, and Kendrick saying, look, man, we cool and all, but I don't care who you is out here. I'm trying to be number one. That kind of got up under his little, you know what I'm saying, skin. And he felt some kind of way because now we see Drake's in his feelings. He's always in his feelings. But I believe, honestly, my own opinion is that he is in his feelings because he can't ride Kendrick's wave like he rode everybody else's wave because he can't do what Kendrick does lyrically. See, him and K-Dot on that Poetic Justice song together, that was a dope mixture. That was right up Drake's alley. But when it come to really getting into that rap thing, spitting bars, I don't think he could do it. And I think he's been jealous of that. And I think when Kendrick Lamar called everybody out, he took it personally because he knew he was number one at the time, I guess, in his mind. And Kendrick saying that he really wanted to go, but he know I can't because I can't rock with that dude like that. So I'm going to be offensive. And then when I seen him, it was nothing like that. You know, trying to make it seem like the dude was like scared of him or something when he seen him. When the man told you on the song, you know, we cool and all, but shit, when it comes to this rap thing, I'm trying to take all y'all heads off. And he wasn't just talking to you. He was talking to Big Sean and everybody else at the time. But you was the only one who felt really offended by it. That you literally went to a ESPN sports show, did an interview, but you was talking about Kendrick Lamar the whole time. Then you flexed your power to make sure that that interview didn't come out, but you didn't know that the guy that you was talking to had ties to Kendrick Lamar. And that the word got back to the camp that you really don't like Kendrick Lamar. I believe when y'all was on tour, from what I'm seeing from Kendrick Lamar, what I know about Kendrick Lamar, I believe when y'all was on tour, after the show, when you was running around trying to, you know, get at the little girls and stuff, you know, because you remind me of the type of person who didn't really get girls when you was, you know what I'm saying, coming up, but now you're a star, now you a rap star, you can get all the girls you want, you know, because you can sing to them, you know, that's always the thing until they find out you lame. But when you was running around doing all that, K-Dot would like go back to his room and chill out, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't hanging around y'all. So I believe that you and your boys was trying to make it look like, oh, he the lame one because he don't want to run around and screw all these girls like we doing. I mean, that's just my belief. My opinion from watching you, watching him, and watching how this turned out to the point where we had a lawsuit, I believe that you knew all this time that you can't rock with Kendrick. And what made me understand that more is just knowing that this is your debut album and the first person that we hear is Kendrick Lamar. on a song by himself on your first album. Now, some people can look at that like, oh, he was doing them a favor. Bro. Do me a favor, don't do me no favors, fam. The boy was a fan. I don't know nobody in the history of hip hop that would want somebody else's voice be the first voice that they hear on their first debut album, bro. Especially somebody like Kendrick. And he killed that. I literally didn't hear that song until after the battle. And I thought it was like him and Drake on the song. But to find out that this whole interlude was just Kendrick by himself on your album says a lot to me as an artist, as a real hip hopper. You really look up to this guy. You really want to be this guy. That you said, man, you know what's going to be so dope? My first album opened up by Kendrick Lamar. And when he dropped that control verse, you got in your feelings, you know, I thought we were friends, like you do now. Anytime somebody say something about you, or I'm unfriending you. I'm unfollowing you. Look, I unfollowed them. Who cares, bro? It's not grown man activity, man. We can see this from this interview 13 years ago. This man has always been on grown man activity, man. Never been a nerd, man. Always been an understanding and in control of where he want to go with his music and stuff, bro. And his movement. But let's keep it moving.
You know what I mean? It's too much motherfucking pain. I don't went through too much motherfucking pain losing people to even keep glorifying that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, that element is always in me, but at the end of the day, we all know it ain't right.
Do you think that with the music that you make and some other artists that it's a lot easier to kind of open up and express yourself in terms of like talking about the pain or like talking about things that back in the day it was all about glorifying certain things or like having that mentality of like, you know, like you're invincible.
Right.
It seems nowadays younger artists kind of feel more able to talk about some real shit that everyone experiences and like the actual feelings, which is kind of like a, you know, in hip hop for so long it was kind of like faux pas.
Right.
So do you think that's a little bit more of a lane that artists have nowadays, an option when it comes to their music and creating their music?
Yeah, it is. It is an option, but we all got to go back to when Tupac was doing it. You know what I mean? That's who really started this shit, and we lost that shit. When he passed, everything got jiggy. That's when I started writing because DMX first album, when he came out, because it was a void that was missing. I need to hear some real shit that motherfuckers that I can relate to, that we've been around our whole lives, you know what I mean? So I think it just got back to that element of the game where people want to hear the real stuff they can relate to, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a must. I wouldn't mind hearing, not everybody can do it, but the few that...
Not everybody can do it. That's real rap. Not everybody can do it. Anybody can rhyme some words, bro. Not everybody can paint a picture with those words in an artistic way that people can groove to it and learn from it and relate to it.
That can keep pushing that shit out, you know what I mean? So it's love.
One of my favorite tracks is HOC. I've actually never smoked weed before in my life, so and I've been in the industry for 10 years, so I've definitely been in many of the studios and interviews. And
I smoked weed a few times, but I never really got the high that everybody always talked about. I always thought something was wrong with me, you know what I mean? Like I'm tripping, like fuck, why am I not high? You know what I mean? But shit.
Nah, I thought you was being real because in all actuality, man, ain't nothing to it, bro. It'd be a bunch of capping going on, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, the weed culture is so boof that it don't even make sense. Like, people be faking like they got the best weed in the world or like they got the smoking the best. Like, bro, like, the stuff they call mid give me a little bit more of a boost than the stuff that they call za, man. Like, just because it looked pretty. And here's another thing about that, man. Like, even just like hip hop, the weed ain't the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's the same anymore, man. But it's all about evolution, so I'm not the type of person that sit around complaining about what's not the same no more. That ain't my reason for saying that. My reason for saying it is because you got a lot of capping going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, these cats with these moissanite diamonds and acting like they spent thousands of dollars, and if they did, bro, you know, you might want to take the receipt and take that stuff back, or at least get like 50% of what you paid for it back. But everything's boof, man. Nothing is real. Nothing is authentic, man. And this hip-hop game came from people being real and authentic, man, which is why we see what we see in the results of this. Like, the cats who've been growing up within the last 15 years listening to Drake, man, they've been drinking Similac and stuff too, man. They've been drinking artificial water and all this other stuff. So for them, artificial is real. Authentic looks strange to them, and it's okay. I'm just glad that we have an opportunity for these younger generation to be like, hey, okay, that don't taste like that. As a matter of fact, it tastes better than that. Hey, I want some of that. Because don't nothing get old but clothes, and then they come back in style. You feel me? Which is the reason why Kendrick just dropped this album, man. GNX, man, is an ode to the 90s, bro. Yes, the car was made in 87. That was the year that Kendrick was born, in 87, bro. Being born in 87, his hip-hop style came from the 90s, bro. The best time in hip-hop when you had a variety of different artists talking about different things. Yeah, you had your Joski Loves doing the Pee Wee Herman and all that. But you also had your NWAs, you had your Tupacs, you had your Public Enemy, you had people from all different walks of this music game, from this genre, from different areas that live different lifestyles, that we were like a melting pot of music. You know what I'm saying? Same genre, but just from a different perspectives, like from different areas of the map, to the point where it got to a Toronto, Europe, India, all that. Not a world loved the rap. I can't say they love hip hop. I can say they love the rap part of hip hop because it became the heartbeat and the soundtrack to their life. But what they choose from that rap really determines what kind of life they live. And yeah, you could be getting a lot of money, but if you spending all that money on drugs and stuff, man, and you getting high all the time, bro, it's only a matter of time before you and that money part. Because it says a fool and his money will soon depart. And it's okay though, because you got positive, you got negative. But let's keep it moving. Here we go.
It was just something that didn't really stimulate my mind like that. I don't know. I asked motherfuckers, do it stimulate their minds as much, you know what I mean, as y'all talk about it, or am I tripping? And it just never did, so I just never had the thrill to do it. I mean, to each his own though. All my homies smoke weed. I'm always high of contact some type of way, so that's what the song stands for, so it's all good.
I get a lot from people who do smoke. You also have that line about taking you to the next level. It's like, oh man, you're a dope editor, but if you smoke weed, you be on that other level. If you did this, you be on that other level. Do you feel like it keeps you back from reaching some kind of level? Do people tell you that?
The homies tell me that all day. You know what I mean? We been friends on. Shout out to High Power. Them niggas that literally try to put blunts in my mouth and shit. Like, yo, you smoke this, you'll probably be thinking like a motherfucking alien on steroids. You're already crazy with it now, but I don't know. I don't think it would. You know, I think it's a mind thing. You know what I mean? I'll probably hit that motherfucker and probably do think I'm on some other wild crazy shit. Who knows? But I don't know.
You know, because this is a gang.
That's interesting to know, man. here you have a guy that was raised around Crips, Bloods, gangsters, pimps, players, drug dealers, prostitutes, addicts. And he chose not. He chose to do everything other than what everybody else was doing. And still not judge those people for doing what they was doing. Still able to function around them folks, you know what I'm saying? And still be himself and them allow him to be himself, man. He reminds me a lot of myself, man. You know, other than trees, man, I have never tried anything else. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a big partier. I don't really care to, you know what I'm saying, disrespect women like that. Like, do I use the word bitch in my music? Yeah, I used to. I don't really write no more. So when I do write, it's never about disrespecting women no more. You know, I mean, actually, that's what made me stop rapping is because I realized, like, okay, every time I rap, I'm talking about killing somebody or doing this and that. And, you know, just hearing somebody like Kendrick Lamar made me be like, man, you know what, bro? I would rather push the next up-and-coming artist like himself than to try to compete in an era that's A, not my era, you know what I'm saying? B, full of drug heads and serial killers, quote unquote, because most of them ain't never did anything to anybody. And if you did do something to somebody, I don't feel like it's cool to be rapping about it. And yeah, I said I used to rap about it, but not in the form of what I did to somebody, more about what I would do to you. You know what I'm saying? And even that I didn't find really cool to even be saying because, like, you know, FAFO, you know what I'm saying? Fuck around and find out. I don't need to warn you or pre-warn you about what I'm going to do. Like, who am I scaring? I don't want to scare you. But it's interesting to know that this guy, this is 13 years ago. So I'm only, for the people who missed it, if you're watching this now or watching it later, the reason why I'm going through this interview with y'all is because the narratives that y'all make of this man without doing your research is outlandish, bro. This was 13 years ago. And everything that he talked about then is what he still stands on now, man. And I'm going to put one more on y'all, man. This is just my prediction for his future after music. Kendrick Lamar is going to be the mayor of Compton, California. Mark my words for that. Kendrick Lamar is going to run for the mayor of Compton, and he is going to win by a landslide. Probably the people who's running against him that year are probably going to concede early and be like, nah, let him be the mayor. Yeah, man, go ahead. Kendrick is yours. Because all the things that he does for his community, been doing for his community, the way that he thinks about his community, even as you can see 13 years ago, that thinking 13 years ago is the results that you've seen at the pop out. The results that you are seeing around the world right now. I think we got probably a little bit over a minute and a half left on this interview. I'm gonna let it finish and then I'm gonna close out. So let's keep it moving.
Gangster story, but a gangster with a difference because this is a gangster with a conscience.
Shout out to everybody that's supporting the whole movement, you know what I mean? Top Dog Entertainment, High Powers, the crew, all the people, man. It's just good music. J. Cole, Wale, Kid Cudi, Ross, everybody that's supporting real music, you know what I mean? I'm all for it. The whole LA circuit that's finna crash through the motherfucking market. Dom Kennedy, Lady G, Bad Luck, Problem, Mike Stroh, Black Hippie, you know what I mean? That's my crew. Schoolboy Q Absol, J Rock, we out here. Much respect.
Okay, yeah, that was the end of that interview. So yeah, man, I wanted to show this interview so people would know. For the people who don't know. Nothing fluke about this young man here. Nothing. You would have to create narratives because there's no smut on his jacket, like they say in LA. Ain't no smut on his name. Ain't no smut on his campaign. You can't find a person that could tell you anything different than what this man just told you about himself. He is Kendrick Lamar. He's giving the world Kendrick Lamar. Oh, his music, nobody ever got in the song. Nobody ever got in the car and said, put on some Kendrick Lamar. That's because usually if you're listening to Kendrick Lamar, you're going to need that time for yourself. How about that? You're going to need to be able to focus on what he's saying and manifest and marinate in it. You know what I'm saying? Marinate in it and manifest and do something better with yourself, because if you really are a Kendrick Lamar fan, then you already know that his music motivates you to do something better with yourself, man. Like the man said, that's what all he's been after, that's all he's been going for, that's all he stands for. All these narratives about him that's being made up, like they just offend me because I am offended by the mindset of our people who would even just go out their way to try to find something bad to say about this man without doing the research and then being honest with themselves. Like, if you've watched this interview with me up to this point and you see and heard what this man was talking about 13 years ago, I want you to comment below. What do you think Kendrick Lamar's angle is in this game at this day and time? Like, do you think he's a fluke? Do you think that he's just doing everything for clout, or he's doing everything because he hates Drake? He doesn't hate Drake. Who has a reason? Nobody has a reason to hate Drake but Drake, especially at this point. Because the moves that Drake's making right now are moves that if you were street smart or just had any intellectual intelligence of how to deal with other men, you wouldn't be making these moves. Like, Lucian Grange is not from the streets. So he is a businessman, but do they have ties to the streets? Of course. Just like Drake has ties to the streets. Because, see, you could pay a crash dummy any amount of money. People will turn on their own family for money. But when you look at Kendrick Lamar and the people that surround him and the community that champions him, and you go back to the battle when he said that Drake was offering Bitcoin and money to get information or to get people to try to do something to him, whichever one you want to believe. Nobody accepted it. And if they did accept it, he got nothing in return. That speaks volumes, bro. You don't get that being a fluke, being fake. You don't get that respect from the streets. See, people like to think that people respect people in the streets that sold a lot of drugs and did all this and that. When that's the furthest thing from the truth, because at the first moment they would get to knock them off and take everything that they got, they would do that. Most of them folks are just deriding with disdain in their minds, their mentality. It's like somebody just smiling in your face but really want to shoot you in the back of your head. But because you got money And because you may give them a couple dollars here and there, man, they gonna continue to act like, yeah, I'm on your side. But let somebody come with more money that's gonna feed them more money than what you giving them. It happens all too often, man, in our communities, bro. That's why we got a lot of stories of dead legends, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have never really labeled anybody a legend in my mind, because, you know what I'm saying? Not too many people are legendary, but if I was to champion a legend in this day and time, Kendrick Lamar is legendary. Again, this interview was 13 years ago. He had been through the industry and had his hands on all the money he could possibly want. He had so many different offers that he could possibly take. And just like his homies trying to hand him the weed, he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to get there on my own accord. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to get up out of here. In that interlude that he did on Drake's first album, I don't know if Drake was really paying attention. This really, when I heard it, I was like, he put this on his album? Because it seemed like to me Drake came to pick Kendrick up in Toronto when Kendrick had a show in Toronto. This is before they went on tour. So everybody talking about, oh, he did Kendrick a favor, he took him on his first tour. Kendrick had a show in Toronto. Drake heard about it and went to go pick him up, man, and wanted to, you know what I'm saying, get close to him and try to be buddy-buddy with him. You feel me? Because he's a fan of hip-hop. He probably wanted to buy the drawers that Kendrick wore on that stage that day. Who knows? But he act like he was telling Kendrick the pitfalls of being in the industry, the pros and cons. And Kendrick's listening to him. And Kendrick took notice of what he said. That's why he made the song. And at the end of that song, he said, then I died. Basically, okay, I heard what he had to say. I heard what he said I need to do in order to do this, this, and that. But let me kill that part of me that wants to be a part of this industry. And even though I'm in this industry, I don't want to be a part of this industry. So I'm going to go a whole nother way with my creativity, which he's always been. I'm not doing anything just for radio play. I'm not doing anything just to get my numbers up. No, I'm doing everything conceptually because everything is art and everything has a goal for why I'm making this art. Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale. All these albums are conceptual albums that mean something from beginning to end. If you really appreciate art, then you already know that. If you are new to Kendrick Lamar and have no idea or had no idea what he really stood for, I would recommend you go back and listen to his albums with the understanding that you might not want to get high to this. You might not want to get drunk to this. You might want to just listen. And then ask yourself, and where in this picture that he's painted was it a flaw in it? I didn't see no flaws in none of his paintings that he painted with his music. From the cover to the end of the album. It all means something, which is the reason why he is the only recording artist that I know in history. It could be more. I don't know any other artist in history of music that has a Pulitzer Prize. A prize that's usually given to writers, people that write great speeches, people that talk elegantly. Here we have the only musician that I know with a Pulitzer Prize, and he's from hip hop. And his name is Kendrick Lamar. And he just beat the industry's golden boy right in front of the world's eyes. The world was watching that battle, whether you liked hip hop or not. You were in tune with that battle. In the moment that They Not Like Us came out, it's like everybody pressed play at the same time. Because everybody who's following the beef, who got notifications, who understood that, bro, I don't want to miss none of this, so I'm going to get a notification when these dudes drop. Whether you like Drake, whether you like Kendrick, whether you like them both. You was clicking a notification if you had never clicked notification on them before during that battle. And so it's like the moment They Not Like Us drop, everybody woke up to that notification and pressed play at the same time, fam. And people were posting on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere at the same time, damn near simultaneously, about Not Like Us. Why would anybody have to spend any extra money to boost the sales of something that has already spread across the world like wildfire? From the United States to Bangladesh, everybody in the world was playing They Not Like Us the day that it came out. Damn near the same hour it came out. Why? Because it's that time. I was telling people during the battle, this ain't about Kendrick and Drake. They're just the characters that's playing this. This is God energy. And when God sends that energy out, all those people who are on that frequency are going to feel that energy. So now where we are at now is good versus evil. And if you are finding reasons to down or find a reason to hate or just dislike, just got so much disdain for a guy who has so much character, who cares about how he presents himself to the world and how his presentation to the world comes back to him. Even when in the midst of doing battles and warfare. If you are on the opposite end of that, then you are not like us. Us being righteous people who just want to see something better come of this thing of ours called hip-hop. On that note, my name is Rico the Plug with theraphustle.com. If you're an independent artist, model, entrepreneur, content creator, or just an avid fan of hip-hop, sign up for the hip-hop fraternity. Sign up for the hiphopfraternity.com for sure, man. 2025 is going down, man. Award show, April. Man, look, that's something else. But right now, I need y'all to sign up for the raphustle.com, create your hustler's profile page, and let's hustle together. If you need promotion, marketing, interviews, or just some consultation, some guidance, man, that's what we're here for. Most importantly, we can't do this without you. This is an organic, grassroots movement. There are no bots. I could have been using bots. I know about all that. Been doing this stuff for almost 20 years now. I had a platform called iPlug Network TV in Atlanta, and the first artist that was on that platform, when I made it, the only video that was on there was Kendrick Lamar, 2-3. He inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. And that's promote up and coming artists like himself and like myself, and people who just want to hear something different and something better and don't want to be bogged down with all the beef and all the BS, man. It's the rap hustle, not the cap hustle. Make sure you sign up, create your hustles.